in CrossFit world, hey, if you show up to a CrossFit gym, you're a badass by default. And there are levels to this because there's a whole other level of badassery that happens when you are a dedicated 5 a.m. CrossFitter. That's a whole different level of badassery. And today we get to interview one of our 5 a.m. badass CrossFit females, the amazing Katie Wooldridge, and learn her story. Stick around.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
Everybody, welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we learn from our CFE coaches, we meet and learn about our CFE CrossFitters, and occasionally meet and learn and interview Glen Ed community leaders and business owners. I'm your co-host, Greg G. Skelly, aka Coach G at CFE. I'm the CEO and GM here, and today I have the opportunity and privilege to speak with one of the amazing 5 a.m. CrossFit females, Katie Wooldridge. Katie, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is this your first time ever being interviewed for a podcast?
Yes, I think it is.
Awesome. Well, hopefully we can set the bar really high and make it the most amazing experience. So Katie became officially a part of our CFE community on December 20th of 2019 as a part of our CrossFit onboarding program. And according to the system, in the 2.5 years that she's been CrossFitting here, she has amassed an astounding 306 confirmed CrossFit sessions. Katie is also a professional woman. She's a school social worker for Civic Memorial High School. Today, we will learn more about Katie the CrossFitter, Katie the professional, Katie the woman outside of the gym. So Katie, are you ready?
Ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. So we're going to break the ice with some of our fun, easier questions. You have over 300 CrossFit sessions under your belt so far. So clearly you have some perspective. What are some of Katie's all-time favorite CrossFit workouts?
My favorite CrossFit workouts? I love doing like cleans. I love cleans and deadlifts. Those would have to be my favorite workouts. The full workout, I loved the Thanksgiving WOD, the 12 days of Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Actually, my first 2 years, my first time doing it was the past Thanksgiving. I was really scared of it, really intimidated by it whenever I first started. So I was just like, oh, I can't make it, or I have something else going on. So I just would never come. But then I'm peer pressured pretty easily when it comes to gym stuff. I was peer pressured into finally trying it. And it was so much fun. It's actually probably my favorite workout I've done now.
So wait, who peer pressured you? And I have a suspicion. I think I know who it might be, but who was it that finally said, Katie, you have to do this?
Angie
Lovato.
Yeah. She peer pressures me into just about everything in the gym.
She specifically cited this when we interviewed her for the podcast recently. Mm-hmm. She's like, Katie and I have this special this dichotomy, this relationship where we're constantly pushing each other to do all kinds of things.
Yes. Like if Angie does something, I'm like, well, I can do that. And I feel like it's vice versa. So we're really good for each other, especially at the 5 a.m. Or like if I'm not there, everybody's like, well, somebody else is going to have to step up in Angie's spot to push Katie. So it's just kind of known.
One of the cool things with CrossFit is that you'll find that person that with whom you resonate and they kind of push you to be your best self and bring out your best in the workout. So, but for the audience here that might be uninitiated to this idea, Katie, your favorite workout, the 12 days of thankfulness workout, why were you scared? And what is that workout? Tell the audience, what is the workout and why does that scare you?
So the workout it's 12 different lifts or exercises, and you do them kind of like the song 12 Days of Christmas. So you do it and you go to the next one and you keep going backwards. So I don't know what really intimidated me of the workout the first time. I think it was just all the hype behind it. I'm like, oh my gosh, This is really intense. This is going to be really hard and really long. But I should have known myself a little bit better because I'm not a person who likes the workouts where I'm doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. I like the ones that change pretty quickly and have a lot of variability in them. And that's exactly what the 12 days was. I mean, it's 12 different workouts the whole time. So It was constant change, and I really, really enjoyed that. And so once the Thanksgiving one was over, I'm like, that was freaking fun and awesome. Like, let's do the Christmas one. When can I sign up? Like, can I sign up now? So yeah, I
Yeah.
hopped right on board onto that one. It was, I just think like the intimidation part of like 12 different lifts or 12 different workouts, that was kind of scary. But
Sure.
like I said, I should have known myself better. Like that's the kind of stuff that I prefer when I work out.
One of the things that we hear often from people, what draws them or attracts them to CrossFit in the first place, is that it's such a diverse experience with so much like variety in the exercises. One of
Hmm.
the things that makes it attractive. And I think that there
Hmm.
probably is no workout that we do that better captures the variety and that aspect of it, like the 12 days of thankfulness workout, the 12 days of Christmas workout.
Yes.
So I think there are definitely two of the best workouts that we do year long. Now let's kind of take the flip side to this story, Katie. The hard CrossFit workouts. What has been the hardest CrossFit workout that you have ever done?
Probably my first ever CrossFit workout. I'm just kidding. Well, I mean, obviously that one was probably my hardest because, I come in, I have no idea what I'm doing. And I was just exhausted afterwards. But besides, obviously, your first one is the hardest. Anything with thrusters in it,
Mm-hmm.
no,
Yeah.
no, I don't want to do it. I will complain the entire time, like Angie there or not. Like I'm complaining. I don't want to do it. I think, is it Fran that has a
Yeah.
bunch of, yeah,
21,
no.
15, 9 thrusters
Yep.
and pull-ups.
Yep. Oh yeah, I don't not pull up fan either. Like if ugh. So really, Fran is just not for me.
That's the one. So
That's
then
the one.
for Katie, what are the, you mentioned power cleans and deadlifts. We know
Hmm.
those two. Like what are the other exercises that get you the most excited? Like it comes up in the workout program and you're like, yes. You're
Jump
like,
ropes.
jump rope?
Hmm.
Really?
I
Why
like to
jump
jump rope.
rope?
I don't
Really?
know. I just like to jump rope. I don't know what it is. The single unders, I've gotten really, not really good, but I've really improved my double unders. So I think
Yeah.
those are fun. So I enjoy. I don't know. I enjoy jump rope, and I also enjoy. We just did these the other day, lunges. And the moment I hate lunges, but like later on, because I can feel them so much, I know that
Right.
they're like worth doing it. So I feel really accomplished after lunges.
You know, it's interesting. Like usually, first, we almost never hear anybody say that the jump rope is one of their favorite parts of CrossFit. Like
Mm.
that really stands out. But when people do, it's often that it almost harkens back to like the playfulness of childhood, or being on the
Yeah,
playground having fun, skipping rope with friends. Is that playing to this with you
it
somehow?
absolutely could. It absolutely could. Like it does. It's just fun. I don't know. That's how I would describe jumping rope. It's just fun.
Right,
Now, do I ever like go out into my driveway and just jump rope on my own? No.
right.
Maybe I should. Make me happy, but like, no, I just really enjoy doing it like as a part of a workout.
Yeah. Somebody had once characterized CrossFit as adult recess. Maybe it
I
is.
could see
Maybe
that.
bringing back the jump rope is kind of like getting back to being a kid and just having fun on the
Hmm.
playground. Maybe
Playing
that's
on
it.
the
I don't know.
bars and climbing the ropes, like definitely, I could totally see that.
I will say for me, lunges are my absolute favorite exercise ever. Totally favorite exercise. They're so functional for so many things in life. They're so practical. And I love how it shapes my booty and my legs. Like I
Can't
know,
go
like
wrong.
we did lunges yesterday, and I for sure know that we did lunges
That you did
yesterday.
lunges. Yeah, that's how I feel.
So, all right, so you're a fairly veteran CrossFitter now, Katie. Like, what is the number one mistake that you see newbie CrossFitters making?
I don't know. Because I try not to like compare myself to other people or like compare other people to me whenever I'm working out because
Mm-hmm.
I know we're all just so different and at different parts of our lives and like going through different things. So like I don't really know if it'd be like for me to say that somebody's making a mistake whenever maybe that is really, what they are doing to be the best that they could that day.
Sure.
But if I could give advice, it would definitely be like don't give up or like don't stop coming.
Right.
Because I think getting there is how you're going to be the most successful and see the most improvements. Um, so that would be, I guess, my advice to a newbie CrossFitter.
Just the consistency of showing up, right?
I mean, that's how I feel like I've found like my most success is like the accountability behind coming and, having the people push me and the relationships there.
Right.
And yeah.
It's one of the 5. So in our onboarding, we teach 5 ways to get the most out of CrossFit, and one of the 5 is CrossFitting consistently. Say like 3 times a week is a minimum, more is better. It's like that consistent exposure to the stimulus, which is born out of just showing up on Monday and then showing up on Tuesday when your glutes are still extremely sore from all the lunges yesterday, and then showing up on Wednesday when your arms are extremely sore from all the push-ups on Tuesday, and so on, right? So then for Katie, what's your number one goal in fitness right now? As a CrossFitter, what's the most exciting thing for you to achieve or to aspire to next?
Well, not on the weightlifting side of things, but like on the nutrition side of things and food. I'm starting like another 4-week like plan. So I'm really excited to get that going. With summer coming up, I just know I get super busy in the summer. And that's a good excuse for me to be like, oh, I don't need to eat healthy. I don't need to stay on track. Like it's summer. I need to enjoy myself. So I'm excited to continue to keep nutrition like on the forefront of my like journey here. Because with summer coming up, lots of vacations planned and, going out and doing stuff. It's a good excuse to put it on the back burner, but I don't necessarily want to do that. So I'm excited to, start that 4-week challenge again for myself and then continue it on for the rest of summer.
So that's what you're doing going forward. Let's kind of flip now and go back in time. So back in 2019, how did Katie Wooldridge find out about CrossFit Edwardsville in the first place?
Google. Google. That's how I found out about
Google
it.
machine, as Dallas likes to say.
Yes, that is how I came across. So I was a very competitive softball player growing up. I went out and I played collegiate softball, and then I graduated with that. Obviously, went to grad school, and I just missed the competition that I would have with myself, that softball would bring me. And so I looked toward working out more, like in grad school. I grew up hating the gym. I hated the gym. You wouldn't catch me dead in the gym. I hated it so much. But then grad school came and I had to
Why did you hate it so much?
I don't know. But like growing up playing softball, like you got to be stronger if you want to get recruited. Like you got to start working out, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I just don't want to. I don't know if it was people telling me how to do it. And I was like, well, just because you're telling me to do it, I'm going to do the opposite. Or I don't know what it was, but
is there a rebellious streak to Katie Wooldridge?
Possibly. I don't know. But like, it was not my thing growing up. And then when I hit grad school, like I said, I had to find something to kind of push myself. That competitive side of me that I no longer had with softball. And it came to the gym. And once I graduated with my master's, I came back here to the area. I was like, I'm going to give like CrossFit a try. I had tried it for maybe a month in the past, but not long enough for me to really get into it simply because I left for school. So I'm like, I'm going to give that a try again and see how it goes. And it was really exactly what I was needing and looking for.
So you Googled CrossFit near me or something like that?
Yep, I sure did.
So then, okay, then what has been like your craziest or wildest or funniest memory of CFE last 2.5 years here? And I'm gonna guess it probably involves Angie in some way, but
yeah, that's so. Being a 5 a.m.er, I'm not sure I've ever gone to a class that wasn't at 5 a.m. Maybe 1 or 2 during the pandemic. But I'm just an early riser, early person, so 5 a.m. makes sense for me. So we're not really too wild and crazy at 5 a.m. We're kind of like quiet and asleep, really trying to wake up. So I don't feel like there's like a wild and crazy memories, but I just enjoy, like, I come in and I just laugh. I can always expect to have some type of laugh in the morning when I come to the
Right.
class. Like, nothing really stands out. I always laugh no matter what. I don't care, like, who's there, who's at the class, who's coaching the class. Like, everybody just has such fun personalities and they're all so different, but we all have the one common denominator of CrossFit and working out that we can all relate on. But
Right.
I don't know, it's just fun being there. It's funny listening to people. It's what they did over the weekend or what they're planning on doing the weekend, or people talk about their kids and funny work stories, like whatever it is. Like, there's always something that just makes me laugh. So there's not a funniest memory, but I appreciate all the funny things that
I think
happen.
that there's something really important to that aspect of this, because like the workouts are stupendously challenging. And I
Hmm.
think that for all of us, we need to have like the humor to offset some of the tension that comes with, oh my God, there's
For
thrusters
sure.
and pull-ups in this workout. I'm gonna die.
Hmm.
Let's break the tension by joking about
By
something,
joking about how much
or
I hate
or by
this.
making fun of Katie.
Yeah. Typically.
Katie hates thrusters. You guys know that? We're gonna make her do
We're
extra.
gonna make him do all of them.
Yeah, you can handle all of these for us. So, you've been here 2.5 years, Katie. What keeps you coming back to CFE?
Oh my gosh, definitely. Like I said, the accountability, that's like huge for me. And the people. I I love the people. I love meeting the people that come and go. I really I have found a love for the gym.
Mhm.
And this has just been a really good fit for me. It kind of just marks all of my boxes of it's hard. I challenge myself. I feel good when I'm done. I get to hang out with fun, successful people who, I mean, I feel like I get life advice every week from people, which I
Right.
appreciate. And I don't know, it's just the environment, the whole environment, everything is just, it's really great.
Sure. So like you enjoy the best of both worlds. Like you have like the group CrossFit thing, the fitness side, as well as the nutrition coaching side of thing. Like for you, independent of anybody else, like what have been the best benefits that you've received in terms of like how you look, how you feel, how you perform as an athlete, a woman, business professional? Like what is it for you?
Um, the confidence that has come with the nutrition, with the working out, in all areas. Like, I feel more confident in the gym. I feel more confident here at school. Not that I ever really have to like break out my muscles as a school social worker. But like,
You
I
break out
just,
the muscles of your mind.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. And that's another thing too, like mental health. It's helped my mental health tremendously. It is my, I mean, I preach it all the time to these kids. Like, you got to have a way to escape. You have to have something that helps you feel good. And mine's working out. And so I appreciate, I appreciate the gym for that side of things too.
Sure. So let's go a little bit farther back in time. So tell us about little Katie, like your upbringing and childhood, where you're from, what your family was like, any special memories that really shaped you as a person.
Um, Little Katie grew up in a little town of Brighton, and
Mhm.
I just went to a little school.
Yeah.
um, I grew up in a neighborhood where a lot of kids were my age, so we spent a lot of time outside goofing around out in the backyard and the dirt and the mud, riding bikes, playing sports, all the good stuff.
And I was like,
Um,
I've never been to Brighton, Katie, but you make it sound like a third world country.
it's just
The
a
kids are
tiny
outside with the
town.
mud and the sticks out there.
Yes, yes, it's a small little town. Lots of farming, um, cornfields. I mean, my high school's nickname is Cornfield High, so like you can take that as you will.
Is that right?
Um,
I'm gonna give you
mhm.
so much crap about that.
Yeah, yeah. So we just found our own ways to entertain ourselves outside. But I, like I said, I grew up. I was a very competitive softball player. I started playing travel softball at eight, age 8. I was on a travel team,
Dang. Wow.
and that is what has shaped me into me. We would travel all over the country every weekend playing tournaments, um, and it was like I wouldn't trade it for anything. It was so much fun. I got to meet so many new people. I got to see so many cities and states and different cultures, and I can appreciate things because of the opportunity that my parents had given me to be able to follow that dream. And eventually it took me into playing college ball. Um, I mean, it really shaped like who I was and who I am. Made so many friends. It was great.
I find that for a lot of people, like CrossFit becomes like they graduate from a college sport and they graduate into CrossFit because it gives them an outlet to have a similar
Hmm.
competitive experience, a similar
Hmm.
experience of having a coach and teammates and training together and training hard, having an objective, having a goal, but in a way that kind of it matches life, being a professional person. Like, okay, now I can't spend 2.5 hours on the soccer field. I can't spend 2.5 hours in batting practice.
Right.
I need to get the outlet for all these things in like this much time. If it
Hmm.
happens in an hour in the morning before I go to work, it works. Or if it happens in the morning, it happens in the evening after work, it works out. Otherwise, no.
Not for me.
But
Yeah.
so tell us about, let's get back down to like the family side of things. Tell us about family now, like significant others, other family, future family aspirations. Let's hear about that side of Katie.
So my family all lives in the area. I have a sister and then my mom and dad. My mom lives in Godfrey. My dad lives in Alton. I live in Alton. My sister lives in Alton. We are all so close. My parents are divorced and remarried,
Mhm.
and that is like the extended family that I've gotten from the divorce is
Mhm.
fantastic. I love my stepmom, step siblings, like everybody. At the time, you know, you think you're going through something really hard of a divorce, and it turns out that I end up having more people to love and a bigger family.
Right.
Um, my sister just had a baby. Well, I guess I can't say just had a baby. She's almost a year old now. Um, and
It's Aunt Katie now.
yes, it's Aunt Katie now. And that has been so much fun to have a little niece and then to watch my sister become a mom. She's always wanted to be a mom, and you know, we always knew she'd be an amazing one, but to actually see her and watch her go through it is it's incredible.
What's her name?
Claudia.
Shout out to Claudia
Shout
here.
out to Claudia. Great mom, great sister.
I
The
mean, what I
best.
love is that like you're able to positively like embrace. Like, so for so many people, like once their parents separate and you
Mhm.
get into having step this and step that, like it can often be
Mhm.
like tension or conflict there. And I love that you've been able to,
Mm.
as you put it, find more people to
Yeah,
love. It's great,
exactly. More people love me and I love more people.
right? I think it speaks to you guys as people that you can learn to adapt and, love in a new way, because I'm sure like, the divorce thing is tough on everybody when it happens.
Absolutely. Mhm.
What about Katie, the professional woman? Tell us more about like your career and how you spend your time when you're not at the CrossFit gym.
Gosh. So I'm a high school social worker. This is where I spend all of my time. You're in my office right now. It's kind of ugly and bare because I have to have it emptied out before the end of the year. But um, yeah, come here every day, and I basically just get to talk and help kids all day long. It's so much fun. Um, I love people. I love people's stories. I love hearing about like what makes them them, um, the uniqueness behind everybody. And so I really enjoy coming here and listening to them and talking to them and, you know, help to guide them in the best way that I can through things that they're going through. Um, I have been here for this will be my third year. First year, no COVID. Yay.
Right?
Now my first year was 2020, so that was rough.
I'm sure.
Um, and I am working to become a licensed clinical social worker right now. That'll just open up some more job opportunities for me if I decide that I need to move on or do something else. So that's my next big thing I would like to check off of my list.
Next step for Katie professionally.
Yep. Yep.
What about hobbies and interests outside the gym? Like what you do for fun besides fitness? Tell us about like friends and shout out your people.
Well, I gave a huge shout out to like one of my main people would be my sister.
Claudia.
Yes, hang out a lot with her, spend a lot of time with her. Um, my best friend Rachel, my friend Alyssa, like those are my people. They work super hard. Rachel's out in nursing school, becoming a nurse, and Alyssa, she's a probation officer. I'm just, super proud of them. We enjoy going out and getting coffee. I mean, you saw me at a coffee shop the other day. I mean, I spend
Yeah.
almost all of my time at a coffee shop if I'm not like at school. We love getting coffee. We love going shopping. Um, I play, that's like one world of mine. And then I do a lot of like me time with my dog. My
Yeah.
dog is also my best friend. I should consider her in that. Um, I love to
What's
be
the dog's
outside.
name?
Ember.
Ember. Shout out
Ember.
to
Yep.
Ember. If Ember
Yep.
ever watches this podcast, I don't know if Ember is a podcast listening kind of dog. What kind of dog is Ember?
She is a pity mix.
A pity mix. Those are podcast listener type dogs, right? That's a personality you may have.
I would think so. If
Yeah,
I had to
I love
guess, I would think so.
Right.
Yeah. We do all kinds of stuff together. We love to hike and kayak and go out boating, and she goes to like my softball games with me. I play slow pitch softball, and I coach softball and I coach volleyball. She does that stuff with me. Traveling is like number one on my list. I love, love, love to travel. Ember and I recently went on a cross-country road trip. It was about a week long. We went out to Colorado for a couple days, and then we went out to Utah. I've always wanted to see Utah, so I just decided to go out and do it. She came with me, and we came back through. She's gone down to Florida with me. But my dog's seen it all. She's seen the beach, the city, the mountains, the desert. Like,
my question is whether like Ember is the kind of person that actually get on the road and travel and see the world, or if Ember's like, oh my God, we're on a road trip again.
yeah, I think it's the second one.
It's like,
but I don't really
he's
care.
like, this is awesome. And Ember's like, you're
Yeah.
losing it. Like, let's
Yeah.
stay here. I have my backyard and I have my bone here, and like I'm having a great time in Edwardsville, Glen Carbon area.
She's quite lazy. Whenever I was looking for a dog, I was like, I want one that is active and will go on runs with me and hikes with me, and that's not at all what
You got
Ember
the
is.
wrong dog.
She does it. She does it. But I do think that if I gave her the option to not, she would choose not. But too bad. She's my dog.
Yeah. You're who's in charge here, Katie?
Exactly. Me.
It's almost like, it seems like just a theme for you is that like you seem to really enjoy stuff that has you going out and being active and interacting with people. It's softball
yes.
coaching. It's like in your profession, you like to meet people, get to know their story, help
Yes.
to direct them. In your free time, you're going out and you're hitting coffee shops and having coffee with people. Like it definitely would appear at least that Katie is like hardcore on the extrovert side of things.
I think I'm right in the middle.
No kidding? Really?
Yes, right in the
You're
middle.
living an extrovert lifestyle.
But I'm pretty like quiet and shy at first. So yeah, I do feel like I have bits and pieces of both in me.
Yeah. I think that everybody lives on like a spectrum of it in some regard.
Absolutely.
Like there's aspects of the extrovert, aspects of the introvert, and it's like, which is the one that comes out for you?
Probably, I would probably say more extrovert. I would.
Yeah. Well, do you find that like you're energized after you go out at an evening of coaching softball or playing softball? You come home like energized from the interaction with the people, or is it more energizing for you to be on the road alone by yourself, cell phones turned off? Which is it for you?
In the moment, I'm more energized by the people. But like once I get home from a long day of interacting with people, I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
but while I'm on the road and like by myself, I'm like, well, I wish that, not all the time, but there are times where I'm like, well, I wish somebody else, like I could talk to somebody, or like I'll call somebody on the phone, or like while I'm driving, just to have the
Right.
interaction. So
Or like,
I kind of like want the one that I don't have at the time. Like if I'm with people, I'm like, gosh, I wish
yeah,
I was alone. Or if I was alone, I'm like, man, I wish there was somebody here. Like I just can't be happy.
I think you might be like driving yourself crazy with that, Katie.
Trying to figure it
Like,
out.
meanwhile, Ember is like, hey, I'm right here. You can talk to me.
Oh, she gets an earful. She gets an earful all the time.
I get the feeling Ember might be like the homebody introvert dog
Hmm.
that just got dragged along on the
Hmm.
adventure. Like, okay, we're going to Utah, no matter what
Yes.
I feel about this.
Yes. She had a good time though. When she was out
Yes.
there, she liked it, I think.
Yeah. It's probably good for Ember to be like sort of like how you and Angie push each other in the workouts. Like you're
Yep.
pushing Ember to be more active and not just be a freaking lazy stay-at-home
Couch
dog.
potato.
Yeah.
She is a
Couch
couch
potato dog.
Mm-hmm. Big time.
Well, all right. So like we've learned about Katie, the professional, Katie, the person. Like, are there any mantras or mottos or philosophies that guide you in life? Like, and sometimes it's just something like you repeat to yourself on the difficult days, or something that like you a phrase that you repeat to help get your mind right when you're going into work or whatever. Like, what is it for Katie? Like, what are the guiding principles for you, or models or philosophies or whatever?
I guess I don't know if I have its exact motto. But just that not everything that happens has to be permanent, if that makes sense. Like things that are happening right now does not have to continue to be that way. Like you can always change. You can always change what you're doing. You can always change um like where you live, you can change your job. You can like you don't always have to be the same person. Like there's always that room for change. Um there was a quote in a book that I read a couple years ago when I was in grad school, and it said, keep being the beginner. And I always think about that. Like, never stop learning. Like, you think you've learned everything you can, but like, you're just beginning a whole new realm of what you can continue to learn. So, like, never kind of satisfy yourself with where you're at. Like, keep going, keep trying to grow. So,
In CrossFit worlds, I think it was Greg Glassman that said, once you feel like you achieved mastery in a discipline, go back to the beginning and do all the fundamentals again, but this time paying closer attention.
mm-hmm.
I think it's a call to have like the learner's mentality.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that I think is like really helpful about this is that it can help keep like any feelings of failure at bay if you always have the learner's mentality. Like instead of like win or lose, it's either I win and things go well, or I learn from it. Like we've done a lot of episodes of the podcast that just totally crashed and burned, Katie. Like we'll have an idea that seems awesome on paper, and then we actually hit record and everything just like tanks. It just falls so flat. We're like, so like the last episode I recorded right before this one was our 50th episode, and we were looking back at some of the times that we just completely bombed.
I love those.
It's like, and some of those podcasts never see the light of day, which is thank God, because you'd be watching the podcast, Katie, be like, who are these idiots, and how did anybody let them like have a record button?
See, I
like,
think that those are the ones you need to show. Those are fun.
My ego tells me otherwise, Katie.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank God for Dallas, though. Like he's such a skilled presenter, and like just he's actually my best buddy. So like even when things completely even when we completely suck at podcasting, it's a fun time because I'm hanging out with my friend either way. But I don't know if you know it, but Dallas's background, he has background in theater, so he draws in drama and interest and intrigue to things, and he can he can set up a story in a way that gets you captivated. and then he's got a background in stand-up comedy, and so like he can make things funny that would otherwise be super serious. And so like he can take you through the whole range of emotions of comedy and drama and like super serious and somber, then into fun and playful and all that. And he makes it a lot easier to do the podcast. So I think the problem is me, really.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, we all learn. We learn from doing things, and when it goes well, we learn from it. And when we do things and it crashes and burns, we learn from it. And like
Also learn from
it helps
it. Yeah.
to form our character as people. So one of my favorite questions to ask Katie is, if you could make only one statement to the world, what would it be? Or to put it another way, like if you had to choose one thing to say on a billboard that's going to be seen by thousands or millions of people, what would that billboard say?
You probably just keep going. Because like you said, like you are going to mess up, you are going to make mistakes. Life is not always going to be rainbows and butterflies and sunshine, but like keep going and you will see that like it will get back there, or something better is coming. Like I said, you're not stuck where you are. Like everything, what's happening around you does not have to be permanent. It's not permanent. Like keep going and see what can happen if you don't give up.
It almost, I get the feeling that you're sharing with us something that was shared with you. Like, is this a mantra that was adopted from like a dad or a mom or another like mentorship figure in your life?
I don't know. It could possibly, maybe not just in those exact words, but I mean, just growing up, I've hit my own struggles growing up, just like everybody else has, and, people sit and tell you, my mom would tell me, my coach would tell me, like, this isn't the end. Like, you're allowed to mess up. It's okay. Like, it's fine. Like, try it again. See what happens. Try it a different way. See what happens. Like, you don't have to permanently fail. Just keep trying.
Yeah.
Figure it out. If you don't figure it out, then like that's not how it's supposed to be. Like you'll find the next thing you're supposed to be doing. So
Right. You have a fascination with like impermanence or like the ability to change things up. It almost seems like Katie has a need to have like the freedom to go out and explore the world.
Yep.
Or hang out right here.
Yep.
Or like be totally by myself or be with all the people. Is that right? Like
that's me. That is me. I love my people, but I also like, if I want to go and do something, I like being able to do that. Yeah.
Freedom, Katie. So as you look ahead in life, what most excites Katie Wooldridge about the future, or what do you most look forward to?
That is such a hard question to answer. I guess just really seeing where I end up. Like you said, like, am I going to stay here? Am I going to go somewhere else? Who knows? I have no idea. So it's scary not really knowing for sure, but it's also exciting knowing that I can if I wanted to.
Right. There's a world of possibilities.
Exactly.
The world is your oyster, Katie. You could do anything.
Exactly.
Well, Katie, we want to say thank you to you for joining us.
Thanks for having me
today. And if anybody wants to learn more about our CrossFit thing, you can find out more about us at CrossFitEdwardsville.com. Use ye old Google machine like Katie did to Google CrossFit near me. find us and then book a conversation to learn more about what your unique CrossFit journey looks like. Katie, thank you for being a part of the podcast today. Thank you for sharing your story to all of our audience. Thank you for tuning in and listening in. And you can be able to find this podcast episode both on the YouTubes as well as Apple Podcasts and Spotify and all the major podcast platforms, Katie. So everybody, thank you again. Have yourselves a beautiful and blessed, and as Dallas would say, championship day.